Namaste, Jai Sri Ram, and welcome to the second session of the wonderful interview that's actually going with Mr. Badri. Badri, thank you once again.
Namaste.
So we were, yes, and we were actually talking about, in the first session, we were talking about your book that is due, Jayam, and you were mentioning about solutions inside Jayam. So we continue with the interview. Thank you, Mr. Badri. So, Mr. Badri, interesting that you mentioned the word solution, the last interview, right? But when we think of Mahabharata, we think of a story. People don't think it of as a solution, right?
Right. Raviji, I think all of us are very excited about, most of us like Mahabharata and Ramayana as the narrative itself. Right. That itself is very pleasing, and it's very interesting for us to read and understand. Right. But for me, I've always thought solutions are very relevant. Right. Precisely because it helps me deal with the present, the now. Right. Because the life as it is happening, right, due to its complexities and the nature of it, I believe we need a lot of solutions on a day-to-day basis to handle, be it family, be it the society, be it the workspace, right, be it the larger spectrum of where we live and how we live and everything. We need solutions. So I believe to deal with the present, the now, we need solutions. So one place probably I keep looking for solutions is the Mahabharata and Ramayana, and that's been my approach towards this book.
And if you look into it, we've been having the Mahabharata or the Ramayana for quite a long time. I think Mahabharata, we've been having it for 5,000 years at least. Right. And the Ramayana, more than 7,500 years. Right. So when you take that, once again, don't get me on the numbers, but it's pretty long. It's been here with us for millennials. So how has that impact been in our history? There should have been an impact, right? And we should have had those solutions with us. So do you explore the impact that it has? And yes, you did say that it is actually relevant right now. So can you give me a perspective of a bit of both? Like, how has it impacted in the past and how is it relevant right now to us?
Two dimensions I look at it, right? Number one, if you look at the Shastras themselves, for example, we've got the Yoga Sutras and all that, right? The dimensions at the physical and the mental level, right? They've been so useful, right? And particularly the growing popularity of yoga, right? And it's time tested. It's time tested, as you said, right? It's been useful in the past. It's useful now, and I'm sure it will be useful ever. Right. If you look at the Upanishads and a lot of other spaces, particularly Bhagavad Gita and all those spaces, you have a lot of suggestions and solutions on meditation and other techniques, dhyana particularly. There's so many techniques and tools and solutions available, and they have been consistently used. They are relevant and they are consistently used till now as we speak. Right. Those are two dimensions that I can immediately think of. And of course, we have got Ayurveda, right, which has been in use for a very long time now. And today, Ayurveda is growing, not just popular.
Phenomenally, phenomenal growth of Ayurveda, especially during these Corona times, right?
Exactly.
Phenomenal growth,
Exactly. And again, it is time tested, right? And it's proven with no side effects and all that. So we have a host of solutions already from the Eastern thinking, the Hindu way of life, from the dharmic way, the Shastra-based approach. Those are one set of solutions that I see, right? And I'm sure all of us acknowledge it, right? But I also see a couple of other challenges, as I was saying, the day-to-day life that we live, right? Particularly at the mind level, at a psychological level, at an interpersonal level, right? At a personal growth level, right? At a family level, right? We need solutions. We need frameworks. Probably we need some models. Probably we need some simple tools and techniques which we can plug and play, right? And either Shastras individually, they are helpful, like Ramayana and Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita individually, or a combination of those could also help us. And that's exactly what I have tried in this book. I have tried using a couple of combinations. So it's not just Ramayana and Mahabharata individually, but it is the combination of those. Probably some shlokas from there give me some hints from there. Some Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita shlokas give me another set of hints. When you combine them together, you get a holistic picture. And from that picture, you're able to draw some inferences. And from the inferences, we build a model. So that's the approach I've taken. Right? Raviji, probably I want to just walk you through a couple of solutions that I've tried, tried.
That was what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Right.
What are they?
Understanding and handling personal and professional crisis, right? Understanding and handling personal and professional growth, right? Growth.
Yeah, pretty relevant. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The importance and the necessity to understand tolerance in family and in the society, right?
It is relevant.
Right. Then Ramarajya, right? From the point of view of Dharma and Satya, right? Bharatiya.
And just when you say Ramarajya, you mean the rule of self-governance, right? That's I believe you have already actually mentioned to me earlier once in our conversations that.
Sorry, I lost your voice there, Raviji. Can you repeat what you said?
No, you were saying when you mentioned about Ramarajya, what Ramarajya means to today's youth is actually self-governance, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. So self-governance is one part, right? It is dharmic governance, more important.
Dharmic governance. Okay.
Right. Which integrates the idea of truth within it. For example, right, Ramarajya's fundamental bedrock is not worshipping God, as the many as the popular opinion is, right? It's not about worshipping one God, or that's not the idea. It is about creating a bedrock of truth upon which Dharma is built on a day-to-day basis, right? That's the idea of Ramarajya, and that we have tried to put across as a solution, right? It's for everybody. It's for you. It's for me. It's for the politicians. It's for the businessman. It's for the creative person. It's for the artist. It's for everybody, for us to understand, because we all live in a democracy. So we need to understand the idea of Ramarajya at a very at the level of truth. That's one. Then I've also put across the idea of the Bharatiya culture of reasoning and dialogue, right? Which
I mean, the reason why I smiled is because the very reason we have EastQWest is because we want to actually follow the tradition that was set right from the time of Ramayana, where Bharata questions Rama on his decisions, and the time of Gita, Mahabharata, where Arjuna questions, right? In the Upanishads, Nachiketa questions, and we have, I mean, in the Shiva Purana, Shiva is questioned by Parvati. I mean, we have this huge history of question and answer. Right. And in fact, EastQWest, carries on the tradition of actually this quest for the truth, right?
Right.
So go ahead. Yeah. So I was that's why I was smiling. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah. The idea of questioning and reasoning and dialogue has always existed in the Indian diaspora right from time immemorial. Right.
Absolutely. And I believe, Raviji, that forms the bedrock of Hindu civilization as well. Right. We have prospered, to be honest, right? We have prospered and we have sustained this whole civilization because we allowed and still continue to allow, right? Free questioning.
Yeah, there was nothing like "thou shall not question," "thou shall go to hell if you question me." Those kind of statements are absent in Indian diaspora.
Right. Other idea that I've worked on is the idea of democracy in ancient Bharat. Right? Democracy, we have living in democracy, but democracy is not new to India, to Bharat at least, right? It is the DNA of democracy is ingrained for thousands and thousands of years. And if you look at the lives of Rama and even people before them, right?
Uh-huh.
You clearly see the strands, the DNA strands of democracy very clearly imprinted in their way of life, in their day-to-day transactions, right? So I've kind of rekindled those ideas and tried to bring forth those ideas and present it to the audience to see, hey, we've got a great civilization and we should continue doing this, right? And we should continue upholding those values. So, and it's been a solution available to us. So let's take it forward. So that's one.
I'm very interested to know. I'm very interested to look into your book to see, because this is one of my favorite subjects. I mean, democracy in ancient Bharat. I really want to look into your book to see what you've written about it. But one thing that I know from Ramayana is that Dasharatha in his court asked every one of his ministers what they actually thought about when he proposed Rama's name. That comes to my mind, but I'm interested to go and see what or maybe you have mentioned this also.
I've mentioned this, and there are also a couple of other instances.
Yeah, not to, definitely would like to actually go and explore that. Right. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. These are one set of ideas, right? Then the other set of ideas, the solutions. Then the other set of solutions are self-management, right? Conflict resolution, right? The idea and the importance of gratitude in one's life, right? These are very important ideas. Then how to create a value system for yourself, a customized value system for oneself, and implement it in their own lives, right? Then dharmic leadership, right, for oneself. And as I was saying, the idea of growth, what it means to grow, how should one grow, right? And developing a very conscious outlook towards life around us, right? The whole system around us. How to be more conscious and more, develop a very holistic approach around us. These are solutions. These are not just ideas, Raviji, but as solutions I'm trying to propose in this book, right? So I'm sure you'll agree. These are all tacit knowledge, right? Very tacit knowledge, which is deeply embedded, right, in these shastras, right? It's all there.
Yeah. When you say tacit, sorry to cut you there. When you say tacit knowledge, yes, absolutely. You mentioned about dharmic leadership, right, Badri? I'm just reminded of a recent HBR, paper that I read, something about servant leadership.
Right.
And then I thought we always knew about it in India's diaspora, right? We have the ideal of Hanuman. I mean, as a leader, as a servant leader, right? And we have this beautiful thing. And then suddenly I see this paper being passed on in corporate circles about servant leadership. But then what you're saying is right. We have that tacit knowledge of servant leadership here. But then I read about it in a HBR white paper. And then, are we discovering Indian tacit knowledge through the West? I don't know. Maybe. Right? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Raviji, I think probably we're digressing a little, but nevertheless, in this context of what we're discussing, many of this is exactly why I keep emphasizing on the solutions approach. For example, the idea of servant leadership, the way HBR or anyone is bringing it out, right, is because they have a very clear solution approach, right? That has been their greatest, advantage, right? They look at, right, and we need. I think there is always some cross learning here and there, right? One of the probably a complaint that I always have is that we Indians are used to looking at Mahabharata and Ramayana only as Bhakti Shastra, right? As tools of Bhakti.
Right.
I respect Bhakti, and I myself, I worship Krishna and Rama. But my point is, it doesn't end there. For me, there is more to it, right? Because the original intention of Rama and Krishna, when you look through their eyes, when you look at Mahabharata and Ramayana through their eyes, they were trying to suggest and provide solutions to us. They were not just inviting everybody to fall at their feet. That was not their primary intention at all, right? I think we need to go beyond worship, practice your religion, very important, but go beyond it. Look at Mahabharata and any Shastra for that matter. With the solution through the eyes of solution, seeking solution. And then you get some beautiful insights and perspectives and inferences which you can take it and use it and harness it on an everyday basis. And this psychological perspective, Raviji, that's precisely what
Right.
I try to work on, and then build those solutions so that we can harness them and use them on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, Badri ji, I mean, you have told me, I mean, you've listed me some of the solutions that are available, and the question that comes to my mind is there a point of convergence that these solutions align to? And is that point of convergence that of Dharma? And are these solutions actually to understand Dharma?
Bullseye, you got it. Right? So the point of convergence is precisely Dharma. Right? It is Dharma. Right? So that is exactly why it makes a lot of sense for us to understand the solutions. But think of it this way: Dharma being the nucleus or the sun, right? The planets or the satellites that revolve around the sun to be these solutions, right? As much as you are understanding the revolving entities in their own orbits, right? It's very important to understand the convergence, right? The interaction between them and the sun and their mutual interaction. What is the interaction between Earth and Venus? You want to understand. Similarly, you want to understand what is the interaction between your varna, in the sense your varna, your dharma. You want to understand your role as a family person. You want to understand your role as a person working in a corporate setup, right? These are not separate individual what you call individual ideas, right? They are all connected and interlinked ideas. So that's why keeping Dharma as the focal point, as the center, the nucleus, right? I've tried to build a whole solution around it. So we look at holistically so that we understand the whole spectrum of what we are trying to go through. That is one idea.
Okay.
That is one idea. But Raviji, as much as we understand Dharma, rightly said, right? I agree with you. It is also important, right, to understand Adharma, right, which is the antithesis. Right? I believe that's very, very important as well, right? In the sense, we can't just let go of it and then say, hey, I've understood Dharma, that is it, nothing more.
Yeah, it's like saying I understood good health, but I don't understand what diseases are. I mean, right?
We have to understand the big picture. Now, there are also other challenges in Dharma, not just Dharma and other. There are also other challenges. Right?
What are those?
For example, some popular misconceptions, right? I could say one could understand, right? Nyaya to be Dharma.
Okay. Nyaya to be Dharma. Okay.
Right.
When you say Nyaya, you're not referring, just for the sake of the audience, you're not referring to the Nyaya Shastra.
No. Nyaya Shastra is totally different. I'm not referring to Nyaya Shastra.
That's a system of logic. Nyaya Shastra is a system of logic.
Correct.
Right. So when you say Nyaya, my understanding is the word Nyaya, it's the local usage of Nyaya in our daily language is, okay, this is not Nyaya, is this Nyaya? Are ye Nyaya nahi hai, ye Anyaya hai, like that. Oh, idu Nyayam illa, adu Anyayam, something like that, right? Our local usage of Nyaya, right? Okay.
Exactly. I'm talking about the transactional use of the word Nyaya. Right. So Nyaya in our normal parlance actually means any operational or a transactional truth, right? That we go through, right? So it's very important to understand the interlacing between these two, and how one could be misunderstood as the other.
Okay. Now you're throwing something else here. Definitely, a very, very wonderful session, Badri ji. We will continue with the session in our next session. I definitely want to know what is Nyaya and what is the relationship between Nyaya and Dharma that you talk about. And you are saying that it can get confused with each other.
Right.
Please, viewers, please stay tuned. We will look forward to Badri's session quickly to understand what he has to say about Nyaya and Dharma. Thank you, Badri ji. Please stay tuned. Yeah.
Namaste. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.